All right, we are at the new Travis Mathew location in Oak Brook. Our guy Cole Kmet is here. We've been shopping around a little bit, rocking some hoodies.
We found a Notre Dame color.
Look at that. That's perfect for you. You might need a bigger one.
Yeah, Notre Dame reunion events. This will be good for.
I can fit in that one.
Yeah,
so
out on the beach or something.
That's Nick's size. We'll get you,
I like it. I like it. I like it.
So a lot's happened since we last talked to you, or at least I feel like we have a little bit better idea of what's going on at the quarterback position. Rumor has it you were at this dinner.
Yep.
With Caleb Williams.
Yeah. The rumored dinner. Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was great. It was good. It was good to kind of interact. Kind of a unique situation. You know, I don't think I'll ever get a chance to do that again. You know, obviously with us having the one pick, we know they have first dibs on whoever they want. So cool to kind of get to know Caleb a little bit. Super down-to-earth kid, normal. All the things you see on social media might not really be true. I'll say that. But yeah, it was a great dinner. I mean, we were there for 3.5 hours and closed the place down. So yeah, they kind of had to kick us out there at the end. I think all the chefs and the waiter and waitresses wanted to get back home, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
So Cole, can you paint the picture a little bit too? You say you're there for like 3 hours. What are you ordering? Are you at like at the small kids table? Like how does it kind of range?
Yeah, I mean we had our own kind of private room in the back, and yeah, just super casual really. I mean it was just a good introduction, and you know at the end of the day he's just like the rest of all of us. Mm-hmm. Kind of we've all followed the same type of journey, and obviously he's had a big spotlight on him. Since being at Oklahoma to USC, but just a normal guy, and it was good to kind of have those first steps to getting to know him, and you know, it seems like that's kind of going to be the selection come Thursday, so we're all looking forward to it.
What did Caleb order?
Well, we did a family style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was all for that. Yeah. So we did some steaks, some sides, a little dessert at the end. But yeah, we did a family style, which was cool.
I just want to make sure you didn't like order mac and cheese or something.
Yeah, no.
We don't need a red flag like that on the scouting
report.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good.
So when Ryan Poles comes to you, because this is not a normal thing.
No, not at all.
And says, hey, the biggest thing we'd like is to have some of his future teammates have dinner with him. Like, what was your reaction? What'd you think about it?
Yeah, I was all in. I thought it was super cool that they were able to do that. I didn't know if that was like against league rules or something. I guess not. So. But it was cool just to kind of have that first introduction. So I know all the other guys that were there really enjoyed it, and it was just a good, like I said, good first introduction to him, and I know he's excited about what's to come as well.
So Caleb's had this high profile and, been out there, wins the Heisman. This has been going on for a few years now. So when you say like all these things out there might not necessarily be true. Like, did the players kind of have to overcome that too? Because it's not like you knew Caleb Williams, and how much did that dinner help you really get to understand who he really is?
Yeah, I guess I think I kind of left dinner feeling bad of any ill-willed thoughts I had going into it, and I always try and keep an open perspective until I meet somebody, and I think now I've been in the league long enough and seen enough storylines on guys to know that you just got to meet the person. I mean, just going back to Justin, I mean, there was a lot of things, if you remember, when Justin was coming about him and his character, and none of those were true at all. So you kind of take it for a grain of salt, but when you actually get to go meet the person, it's always good to see face to face and see what they're like, in real life. So,
Cole, was there ever a moment where, as a quarterback, you have to kind of command the room? Mm-hmm. Did it ever kind of feel like, even in that small introduction at dinner, where it kind of felt that way, or did you kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed just because. Super engaging, was willing to let other people talk, would take a hold of the conversation as well. Didn't look at his phone once. So those are all things that, I kind of look at, and that was really encouraging to see. So, I mean, just a guy who's engaged with everybody, listening to what you had to say, and, I think that's going to bode well for him, especially coming into a situation that we're in right now. And now we got a pretty veteran group at this point. So that's going to go over well with the veterans amongst the team.
Oh, look, it's a Heisman Trophy winner from USC. What a coincidence.
Boo.
All right, we have a ping pong table at CHGO, but we don't have a glass one.
You can't see through it at CHGO?
No, which is probably a good thing. But,
yeah.
This is sick. We might have to get one of these.
This is dope. Yeah, really jealous of this exact thing.
Nick's the ping pong player, so I'm gonna let you go against Cole.
Sir.
Here we go. We're just gonna volley it here.
There we go.
Get it going. See, this is the part where Mark and I will start playing, and then he starts doing.
Then he gets more competitive.
Then he does little grunts from like tennis, and then like this is ping pong, dude.
Yeah, we don't need that from Carl.
Yeah,
it's a
they're
little strange.
turning into weird moans. And
Plus, he will. He's just Mr. Patient.
Yeah.
He just sits there and waits for you to screw up. So
Yeah.
eventually, Carm does.
I think that's my game as well too.
okay,
so this could go forever.
The 2 hours later from the SpongeBob thing.
2 hours later.
There we go. All right. Well, then I'm gonna ask a question.
Oh yeah.
Over
So,
you.
yeah,
So
right,
what was the dirt on Cole Kmet?
Coming out of the draft.
Going into the draft, like
Ooh.
I feel like you didn't have a lot of red flags, but like what did you have to overcome?
I think the thing with me with teams was the baseball. Was asking if I'd leave if things weren't going well. I don't think they were actually really that concerned, but they had to bring something up, I think. So it was the baseball, if I would leave to go play baseball if things weren't going well for me in the league over the first couple years.
And Cole, you were at your parents, right, for draft day?
Yeah, it was during COVID, so I was talking to Danny about that earlier. During COVID, and yeah, it was in the living room. It was kind of a bizarre situation, but it was still a memorable night.
So, I mean, what's like that atmosphere like when you're waiting to hear your name, you don't know when it's going to happen, but when it finally
I
does.
think it's weird because like I was kind of a fringe late first, early second guy, and I knew something would happen around then. My dad was really optimistic for first round. I just put in my head, all right, it's going to be second round, and if first happens, that'll be great. So the first night goes by, and my dad was pretty disappointed, but my girlfriend was like, you're going to the Bears. And I didn't think there was a chance in heck I was going to the Bears. And sure enough, next day, get the call, and now I've been a Chicago Bear for the past 4 years.
Did she say anything about Super Bowl 2024, 2025, or anything like that?
She hasn't said
Put
anything
out
yet.
there?
She said 24 and 25 have a good ring to it, so I don't know.
There it is.
that was
anyone
a
counting
long-
that?
You guys got to get that out. That was a
We'll
long.
have to go back and count that.
That was on me though too. Dang.
No practice or anything, we just went right.
That was like over 3 minutes of.
That was long. That was long. But no, I think Super Bowl hopefully is on the horizon in the near future. Yes.
So you really didn't think you were going to the Bears?
No, I didn't. I thought there was enough teams before then that that needed a tight end that would have taken me, that I had good interviews with. But then like there's guys that drop in the draft that you don't expect to, and guys that followed the second round. Like I remember T. Higgins was available in the second round, Jonathan Taylor. So those guys kind of get eaten up, and then then I was left there at 43. So.
Is there anybody from that draft class, tight end wise, that you still talk to
Harrison
today?
Bryant, when I see him at the
Okay, yeah.
Browns, he's a good kid. We did a lot of training together. But yeah, we had a good draft group that we worked out with. Justin Herbert was in that draft group. He's a heck of a golfer. But yeah, there's a few guys in that draft class that I definitely keep in touch with.
All right. Well, speaking of the golf, we're fitted out pretty good here for
We
the
are,
offseason.
yeah, fitted out.
How's your game right now?
It's getting back. Remember, I had the forearm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I just got back playing 2 weeks ago. So it's climbing back up. It's been getting better and better. Just you gotta rep the short game. You gotta rep the short game.
I didn't have a forearm. I just had winter.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I like this one.
These two are kind of go-tos. You went 38, right?
Yeah.
My go-to on that one, and then just a little more livestock. But it's got to be all over here. Yeah. Straight.
I like this blue color.
Yeah. So you have this one.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this one.
Yeah.
All right. So the off-season program started.
Yep.
What are your first impressions of Shane Waldron?
Oh, it's been great. Shane's a really good teacher. You can tell that by the few meetings we've had so far. So we've just been going over simple install stuff, but definitely has a direction as to how he wants the offense to look, and guys have been really receptive to that. So it's been a good start so far.
What about like Thomas Brown's in there?
Yeah.
They gave Chris Morgan more responsibility,
Sure.
run game coordinator.
Yeah.
Like, what does that all mean? Like, can you explain that? We get that question from fans all the time.
Yeah.
Like, to have a run game coordinator, pass game coordinator, offense coordinator, seems like a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even know what it means. No, SEMO's still taking ahead of the run game and kind of controlling all that stuff. So SEMO does the run install. He's been doing that, and Shane's been taking over the pass install stuff. And at this point, we're so limited with time. The little individual time we do have, we're all with our position coaches. So usually, SEMO goes over the run game, Shane goes over the pass game, and then we'll split up. So not too much time to really interact with all the other coaches at this point. That's kind of more of a camp deal. But it's still been good to get to know these guys as we've been in the building. One
thing that I feel like I'm not even sure we've asked you about this since the offseason started, but they kept your tight end coach in Jim Dre. Like, how much of and Chris Morgan obviously helping with the offensive line and the blocking schemes and all that. Like, just with all the other turnover going around, how does that help you, and how happy were you about that part?
Yeah, I was really happy about that. Jim's been really important to me the past couple of years, and I give him a lot of credit for being the player that I've become over the past 2 seasons. I've just seen myself grow so much, both in the run and in pass game, and I think he has a lot to do with that. So, I kind of made sure I vocalized that to Coach and to Ryan there, and I was happy to see that he was retained, and he's been great. And I think he's a guy that could easily run an offensive line room and be a run game coordinator and even go beyond that, just by the type of guy who he is, and he knows ball really well. So I'm really glad to kind of have him by my side. Very lucky.
All right, I want to ask you more about that tight end room, but let's look at some more stuff over here. There's some pants over here I definitely need to buy.
The pants are nice.
Nick's hiding over here too. I know there's a coat, a jacket
I've
here.
been eyeing the jacket.
Yeah. So we got to see what.
Black jacket is nice.
Yeah.
Throw it over the hoodie.
That's perfect. Right
now you're good for spring in Chicago, huh?
You might need that for another month and a half.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We still got third winter coming.
Yeah.
So Gerald Everett, how does that change the tight end room?
Oh, I think that's just another explosive playmaker. You see some of the stuff he does on film. It's really exciting. So, you can go 12 and be able to run the ball if they're in nickel, but be able to run the ball if they're in nickel, and then if they're in base, take advantage of that in the pass game. So he does a lot of good things, yards after catch, and just another violent guy with the ball in his hands and another playmaker in the building. So we're excited about that.
And he had an experience with Waldron too.
Yeah.
I know you guys are just like totally in the infant stages of install and everything like that, but can you already tell, how a guy like Gerald Everett coming in will help with all that? As you guys
I think maybe some in terms of learning the playbook. I think at this point maybe that's a little overblown just because of this. It's all the same type of scheme. You're exchanging language a little bit here and there, but the principles of the offense are very similar just because it all comes from that that same tree. So, but he's good to help with in terms of communicating with Shane, and having that relationship's always beneficial for everybody in the room.
Cole, have you just maybe in some downtime, you think of all the weapons that you guys have right now, envision the complications you can give to opposing defense when you think Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, yourself, Gerald Everett, DeAndre, so everybody in the backfield. Have you ever just sat down there and thought, like, damn, we have some weapons on offense?
Well, it looks good. I think that's more of a fan thing to do, to look on the stuff, but that's what's on paper. But when on paper, it doesn't mean anything when it comes to Sunday. So we got to be able to put that all together when it comes Sunday, when it becomes real live bullets. So obviously very exciting to see who we have, but we got to put all this thing together, and that's kind of starting now, and will lead into camp and in the preseason games and going on from there. But yeah, we got to put this thing all together. But it looks pretty good.
All right, let's put you on the spot. Give you full control over the number 9 pick.
Oh, jeez.
No, you could be selfish here. You don't have to
man.
make just if there's one guy, and I know one of these guys who's probably going to go in the top 10, or position, you could be selfish about it. Like, what's going to help the offense here? Or are you like, no, we got to get another pass rusher because that's what this league's about too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in a good situation with where they're at. I don't want to know if I go anywhere. Obviously, I know Joe pretty well from Notre Dame, so I've seen him. I'm hoping he goes as high as he can possibly go. So I hope he goes 2 overall. That would be my hope, even though I think it looks like it's going to be quarterbacks that kind of run the table. But, we'll see what happens, whether it's an edge guy, whether they go offensive line, add another receiver. I think we're in a good spot, and I think I'm sure Ryan's excited about where he's at with this draft.
You can't go wrong, like, because you just mentioned all those.
Yeah, I don't think they can. Yeah,
with
whatever they do, whether it's trading back and getting more picks or trading up to get someone they really want. Yeah, very exciting, and I'm sure Ryan's excited about it as well.
Well, in all seriousness, like you know how excited the fans are about this.
Sure.
Sure the front office is too.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like you're gonna be watching the draft? Like what's the excitement level gonna be like for you? How are you gonna
usually I don't watch the draft, believe it or not. I just kind of see who we take on the phone. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's just it brings a lot of weird memories back. You know, it's an exciting time, but as a player, it is nerve-wracking as heck, you know, not knowing where you're going. So it kind of brings those emotions back a little bit. And it's not a day that – it's a day I'm super grateful for, but a day I would never want to relive, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of – you got a ton of mixed emotions in it. And when it's over, I was glad it was done, and you know where you're headed to.
That probably applies to the whole pre-draft process.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the combine sucks for players.
Yeah, and I'd say, like, you realize how insignificant all that process is when, like, I'm in year 5. Like, the fact that, like, I was stressing over a 40 or, like, it just means nothing when you finally have to get on the field, you know. But in that moment, it means everything to these guys, and, you know, I totally understand that.
You know, I think Carm would be mad at us if we didn't ask something about the stadium. It's kind of looking the direction's kind of heading to Chicago. Like, how do you feel about that and just kind of where the news is?
Just let it play out. Let's let it play out. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to keep going back and forth, and we'll see what happens. But whether it's on the lakefront, in the tiny part of the South lot, or it's
where's the parking?
Yeah, I know.
Where the hell are the cars going?
Yeah, I don't know that. That's for Kevin to figure out, I guess.
I asked him that. He didn't have an answer.
And or if it's in Arlington Heights, we'll see what happens. But yeah, right now it looks like it's trending towards Chicago. So we'll see what happens. All
right. Well, we'll see what happens this week with the draft too. Cole, always appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
And yeah, we'll talk soon.
Awesome.
Thank you for
on video now.
Yeah. All right. Yes.